Happy Thursday, everybody. My name is Ian Utilli, and I am one of the co-producers at NFT NYC. I'm here with NFT-ish, as many know you on Twitter and Clubhouse and all the places for your building community. Can you give me a little insight, a little background on yourself?
So I am Trish, NFTish, NFT-ish. I think I don't even know. I think I still am like, how did I get here? I came into Clubhouse one day kind of to like sticking out the pandemic and fell into an NFT room of amazing artists, like amazing artists. And kind of couldn't believe who I was sitting next to and started hearing about the space and them talk about the future and drank the Kool-Aid, opened up a blank Twitter and sat in big rooms and just started like tweeting people, listening to their stories, sharing their work, getting them to pin their tweets, kind of my thing. And I kind of grew a following and having a lot of new friends and fell down the rabbit hole hardcore.
It's happened to many of us.
Yeah.
And we're glad that you're going to be joining us in New York at NFT NYC, and we're thankful that you jumped on now so people can get to know a bit about you. Can we talk about community for a moment and the importance of community, especially in light of the pandemic and people being home? And so what's some bright spots for you in your experience with the NFT community?
Oh, so many bright spots. I think they kind of saved my life in a lot of ways. I, like many people, was distraught and angry and depressed, through that whole pandemic. And I'm also a little bit older. So I get inspired by activists and protests. But also I've lived through a lot and I sort of felt like nothing was going to change. And it's really difficult to feel like there's anything that you can do about it those moments. That's where I was at, just like hopeless. And I'm still a little hopeless sometimes, but also kind of feel like I'll go down fighting, if that makes any sense. I'm not a nihilist. And met all these young artists, and I'm a photographer. So like initially I was thinking about my own work, but immediately just really fell in love with all of the artists in this space and their stories, and they're young. And I realized painfully I'm older than a lot of them. You feel like you're the same age on audio, and then you find out, Tie Damn Shoes is 21 or something. She's like my daughter's age. And so, so I just, after feeling like there's no control over anything in this big world and that administration and the pandemic, I felt like, wow, like Web3, we are going to be living on Web3. This is, kind of our future, my grandkids' future, great grandkids' future someday. And this is something I might be able to have a little piece of control over or try, right? And I care mostly about just like an equitable future for everybody. I think everybody should have enough to survive and thrive and enjoy their families and do what they want without struggling, And I see that in this space, but it's not the answer to everything, like people say, like by any stretch. And so I just spend my time just getting like eyeballs on artist work and making sure, anybody who needs to be seen, I want to tweet you and I want to know you, and I do my best. I'm one person, but that's kind of the message I want to put out.
Well, it seems that you've done a great job putting that message out and cultivating community.
Thank you.
You mentioned kids, grandkids, great grandkids. I often think many generations out, but sometimes it's easy to project a positive future in a couple of years. So if I say to you NFT 2024, what type of positive things are you hoping for that will develop in this community and in this industry in the next couple of years?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I see this space changing lives every day. I think a lot of lives are going to be changed. I think a lot of artists are going to make a lot of money. I think a lot of those artists are going to pay it forward and collect and give, and hopefully like not be kind of the, hoarding capitalists that we are right now. And it will be different. I do have a lot of hope. I don't think it's the answer to everything. So I still think there's a lot of like work to do, right? I still think there's sort of a lot of fighting and a lot of, a lot of things that women and LGBTQ people and people of color are going to have to do to make sure but I do feel like for the first time there's hope, and I'm already seeing it happen. So in 2 years, um, yeah, it's kind of people all over the world. Like I'm just thinking about my friends in the African arts community. Like I see this changing lives, and I forget, I get so caught up in what's happening in America. Sometimes I forget, like, in Iran for women, hopefully what this can do for some people in Afghanistan, who's in crisis. And I'm working on a project right now, All Smiles with Wahid, and I know he's like dedicated to giving some portion. So um, I don't know. I don't know. It looks bright, but everything. I mean, 2 years is like a decade in this space. So
Right.
I have no predictions, but I have a lot of hopes.
Well, thank you for sharing your hope. I often have thought, we can only go a few days without, uh, water. You only go
Yeah,
a
yeah,
bit of time without air, but you can't live at all without hope. And I think hope is what keeps us going in community and keeps us going in all the developments that are before us. I want to thank you for joining me for this NFT
thank you.
pre. And for anybody that's watching us, thank you for your attention. I'll be back again soon with another